Welcome to The Explainer. You know, the rivalry between India and Pakistan, it isn't just fought on battlefields. It's also fought in the shadows, on economic fronts, and maybe, most importantly, in the powerful stories these nations tell about themselves and each other.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive deep into this by looking at three totally different stories: a tale of high-stakes espionage, a saga of economic warfare, and even a fictional glimpse into the future. We're going to break down how these different narratives frame the heroes, the villains, and really, the very soul of the stakes in one of the world's most intense rivalries.
Let's start on the most secret front of all: espionage. We're diving into a story that, according to the Indian narrative, is all about the country's greatest ever spy.
So, get this. This is Ravindra Kaushik, a man who literally lived two lives. On one hand, he was a talented theater artist, but India's intelligence agency, RAW, saw something special in him back in '73. They saw an actor who could play the ultimate role, so they transformed him into Nabi Ahmed Shakir. A new name, a new identity, a new life, all with one mission: to get inside the Pakistani military.
And for almost a decade, he lived deep inside enemy territory. Can you imagine? He crossed into Pakistan when he was just 23 years old, went to law school there, and actually joined their army. He was so good, so convincing that he rose all the way to the rank of major. It's a journey that started with this incredible patriotic fire and ended, well, it ended in a very lonely prison cell.
And the information he was sending back, it was pure gold. We're talking about crucial details on Pakistan's nuclear program, heads-ups on military movements, information that reportedly saved thousands of Indian soldiers' lives. His intelligence was so valuable, so game-changing, that Prime Minister Indira Gandhi herself is said to have given him that legendary codename, the Black Tiger. But, like so many spy stories, this one has a tragic twist. In 1983, another agent blew his cover. He was captured, tortured for 2 years, and then just left to rot in prison. The country he'd given everything for disavowed him, and from a Pakistani jail, he wrote this absolutely heartbreaking question before he died from an illness in 2001. All right, let's shift gears completely, removing from the shadows of espionage to the high-stakes world of finance. This next story is about the Kanani brothers, and it's a wild one. So this story is all about an empire built on crime. It started as a simple currency exchange, but according to this narrative, it morphed into this massive global machine that was laundering up to $16 billion a year. That's just a staggering amount of money. So how'd they pull it off? Well, the source claims it was a pretty slick four-step process. They supposedly teamed up with the infamous crime lord Dawood Ibrahim, and they built this enormous Hawala network. That's basically an untraceable, trust-based system for moving money. This network was allegedly used to finance organized crime and even terror groups, all with the goal of wrecking India's economy. And their primary weapon in this economic war? Something called FIC, fake Indian currency notes. But listen, these were not your average, easy-to-spot fakes you'd get from a cheap printer. No way. They called these super notes for a reason. They were so good, so incredibly accurate, they could often fool bank machines. The source alleges that these notes were actually printed in state-protected facilities in Pakistan, using the same kind of paper and tech as real money. It was a massive threat to India's entire financial system.
But then, the whole empire came crashing down, and it happened fast. In 2015, one of the brothers was arrested in a big U.S. sting. And then came what the source calls a masterstroke: India's 2016 demonetization. Overnight, all their stockpiles of fake 500 and 1,000 rupee notes were just worthless paper. Just 26 days after that, the other brother died under very mysterious circumstances.
Okay, so we've looked at spycraft and economic warfare, both stories rooted in these clandestine conflicts of the past. What about the future? Where is this narrative battle heading?
This brings us to our third, and maybe the most unusual source. It's a fictional news broadcast from Sama.The, a Pakistani news channel. It's dated just yesterday, April 10, 2026, and it paints a pretty dramatic picture of a major power shift.
And the future it imagines? Well, it's a total flip of the script. In this story, Pakistan is the global hero, brokering peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. World leaders are singing the Prime Minister's praises. There's even a fake BBC report claiming India is facing global isolation. It's a complete role reversal, a story that imagines Pakistan as a powerful, respected leader on the world stage.
So let's pull back for a second. We've got a tragic spy,
criminal masterminds, and these aspirational peacemakers. What on earth do these three very different stories tell us when we look at them all together?
This is where it all clicks. Each of these narratives creates a really clear national hero. For India, it's the brave spy who sacrifices everything, or the strong state that crushes economic terror. For Pakistan, in their aspirational story, it's the brilliant statesman. These aren't just stories, they are blueprints for national identity, each one telling a tale of sacrifice, or strength, or diplomatic genius.
And that's really the heart of it all. In the India-Pakistan rivalry, the war of words and narratives is its own front line. Each side is constantly writing its own version of the story, a story designed to boost national pride, to point fingers, and to shape how its own people and the entire world see things.
So it leaves us with this final thought. When the guns are silent, the battle doesn't just stop. The war for hearts and minds wages on, fought with powerful narratives just like these. So the real question is, who's telling the more compelling story? And in the end, which story will actually win?